What's up, Fit Fam, and welcome back to another workout here on fitfabcori. To all my subscribers, thank you so much. Huge shout out to you. All my new subscribers, welcome to the Fit Fam. All right, family, we are going to start off today with a total body workout. As you can see, we're going to just start off warming up, rolling our shoulders backwards, then forwards, and then we're going to go ahead and get into a bending forward fold side stretch. This is going to help to really warm up the body totally and stretch out that side body because nobody's got time for that tightness. While we're doing that, we're going to just repeat that 3 to 4 times. As y'all can see, that felt so great. Now we're going to just do a little bit of twist out. Let's like kind of, wring it out like, a wash rag or something. Yeah, let's get that waist and that lower back going. Now we're going to focus on getting those hamstrings stretched out because we are going to be doing some squats in this workout and we want to make sure those hammies are good and stretched. We don't want any pulls or any strains. Next, we are going to do our quad stretches. Again, when you get into those squats, we do not have time for that. And we need to make sure that they're nice and loose and not tight. So let's go ahead and repeat this for a few more repetitions. And then we'll be ready to get into it. All right, y'all, so we are ready to get into the workout. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab your dumbbells. For the sake of this video, I have a set of 10s and a set of 15s, but feel free to use whatever weight works for you. And we're going to start off with some suitcase squats. And as you can see, the move is nice, slow, and controlled because it is not about jerky movements. It is about controlling the movement to make sure that we lessen our risk for injury. We're going to do 8 reps of this. We're going to shake that out just a little bit because if you did it slow and controlled, it's definitely burning pretty badly right now. And it's important to note that the more slowly and more controlled that you do your exercises, you are activating the glutes, not your calves, not your hamstrings, your quads, or your lower back, and you're forcing your glutes to do the actual work. That's where you're really going to start to see some glute growth. All right, next up, we are going to do some split squats on that right side. And you're just going to extend that left leg backwards. And you're going to make sure that you are bending at your knee and not your back. Because if you are, it's going to hurt that lower back. And so pay attention to the way that left leg, when you are squeezing the glute, when you come up, again, that's where you're going to start to see some glute gains when you are squeezing it because you're activating it and you're making your glute do the work. And it's all about symmetry, so we're just going to switch it up and do the other side for a count of 8. Again, I am feeling the burn right here, and you should be too. So if it's burning, it's working, okay? My legs and my glutes were on fire, but that's okay. That means that it is working. Just give yourself a break. And as I always tell you, meet yourself where you are. You may move at my pace, you may move even slower. If you need to pause the video, then come back. It is all good. All right, I had to step over and grab a support stool. I misplaced my chair, so I didn't get that. And this is going to be for your glute extensions because this helps with balance. And you're just going to take that left leg and you're just going to lift it backwards. Again, remember you're activating your glute. You want your glute doing the work, not that lower back, or else you'll start to feel some pain there. And as you can also see, I'm keeping a slight bend in the stationary leg. We don't ever want to lock that leg. All right, and we're going to do 8 reps of this. Now, of course, we're going to switch it up and do it on the other side. And one of the things that I love so much about these types of really truly beginner videos is that I get the opportunity to show you the real form that you're supposed to be using, the correct form, so that as you move forward and progress in your fitness journey, you will know by the way it feels whether or not your form is being sacrificed for speed or for more reps. As you can see, this move is nice, slow, and controlled. That's where you're getting that burn. And I would suggest getting a chair and using the back of the chair for support because my little stool here was a little low, so it did make it a tad bit uncomfortable on my lower back. So just a little note there. Catch your breath, get a sip of water in this nice little juicy break we are taking here, because now we are going to go ahead and get up our dumbbells. Now I'm using a lighter pair of dumbbells. Like I stated before, it was 5s and 10s and 15s, but this is the Gorilla Row, and this works on that lower back, that back fat, the arms, and like your obliques. I love this exercise. And you might think this isn't doing much, but when you get in there and you start doing those controlled movements, you're definitely going to feel the burn, and you'll see the result in how it torches that back fat. As you can see, I was feeling myself just a little bit here. Pay no attention to that. All right, now we're gonna get our lighter weight. Well, I'm using lighter weight simply because I have a shoulder injury that I'm currently rehabbing. And so for these lateral lifts, I am using a lighter weight. Sometimes I even go down to a 5, depending on how much my injury is bothering me. And we're gonna do a rep of 8 for this. This is working out those shoulders. Now, y'all, that was really burning, but it's okay. No pain, no gain, right? It just doesn't need to be pain that you know is leading to an injury. Grab a sip of water, take some breaths here, and get yourselves together. I forgot to grab my weightlifting gloves, and I use those because my hands are really sensitive, and so they can develop the calluses on the inside of my hands, and ain't nobody got time for that, y'all, okay? So I'm grabbing those gloves to prevent that. You can do that or not do that. You can even use just some water bottles if that lighter weight works for you. Next, we're going to put those weights over your head and do what are called marches. These marches may not look like they're doing much, but it definitely helps that waist snatched look that many of us are looking for, because it makes the corset of your waist or the ribs, everything start to snatch together when you do enough reps of these. But again, this is a beginner video, so we are only doing 8 reps here. And this is a workout that you can increase the reps, increase your weights, and increase the rounds that you do it. So instead of 1 round, you can go 2 or 3 rounds, as you grow in your fitness. So however you see fit. Y'all, we are almost halfway. We're over halfway, through the workout. And so we are going to get down on the floor and get ready to work our core a little more with some Russian twists. These are easy. Most people know how to do these. Again, make sure you're activating your core. That is the muscle that you're trying to work here, and not that lower back, because we do not want that lower back hurting. 8 reps. Now we are going to find ourselves on our arms and legs. This is called the body saw. This is a complete body workout. As you can see, you are working your arms, your shoulders, your legs, your glutes, your back, all of it. And you're going to take and you're just going to put your body forward for 8 reps onto the tippy toes and then back again. When I tell you that this is a burn, it is a burn. Y'all, I was feeling it at this point. I was telling myself, girl, you don't got that much left. Come on, you can do it. All right, so we're just going to take off the BFR bands and the weightlifting gloves because I don't need those anymore. And I'm just going to toss those on to the side so that we can get to the next portion of the workout. Feel free to use this time to get yourself some water, maybe do a couple of extra little stretches and take some deep breaths, because y'all, at this point, I was so exhausted because I had probably shot about 4 videos this day prior to this one. So I was pretty tired. But yeah, take that time to get you in a nice little break and prepare for the end of our workout. We're going to just do a forward lunge and give yourself probably about 30 seconds. This is stretching out the hips and the hinges. And then when you straighten it out for a forward half split, it is also stretching out that lower back, those hamstrings, those calves, which is definitely needed because we put in some good work today. And then switch it up and do it on the opposite side. Next, we're going to do a side lunge, and we're going to do this on both sides. And I set a timer for probably about 30 seconds, but we're going to rotate in those 30 seconds, kind of back and forth, not just holding it on one side for 30 seconds. Or if you would like to do that to get in a deeper stretch for a little bit longer time, you absolutely can do that too. Next, we are going to get in what is called in yoga a goddess squat. And you're just going to squat as low as you can, get your bottom as close as you can to the ground. And we're going to take our elbows, and I like to take my elbows and press them out on the inner part of my knee for a deeper stretch. I don't know about you, but I definitely could have used more than 30 seconds of that. Now we're just going to get into some spinal twists, crossing that leg over the right leg, left leg, whichever leg you choose to start with. And let's twist out that lower back. And then we're going to switch it to the opposite side when we're done on this side. Next, we're going to get into a little cat-cow, because the rounding and the dipping of that lower back feels absolutely amazing for the shoulders, the low back, the arms, everything. It just helps to loosen it all. So I love this stretch, and I do this stretch like every night before I go to bed and every morning when I first wake up, because it kind of helps loosen the body and get the body ready. And finally, drop down into your wide leg child's pose. But before we do that, we are going to do the thread the needles, because we did work those shoulders and we want to make sure that we are stretching those out. I love this exercise. This feels really good, especially if you tend to carry tension in your neck and shoulders like I do. It feels absolutely amazing, and you can kind of do this like anywhere that you have a small amount of space and a little bit of time. You can do this a few times to like release some of that tension, and it feels great. And finally, we are going to go into our wide leg child's pose after this. And that is it for this workout. Thank you so much for watching, family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with somebody who is just getting back into their fitness of, their journey of fitness. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.